You want to know why? Because we put a little va-va-voom into things. Today, I wanted to give you loud, which is why I wore this chain t-shirt. And we are back. Hey, oh, that was a short-lived applause. But we love to troll those who troll us about our applause, because you know what? If you applaud yourself, then ain't nobody else going to applaud you. Right? I wanted to give you loud va-va-voom. I wanted to give you the Dickens, which is why I wore this.
Wait, Russell, you must have been watching my last episode, the one that you were not on there with me. But I said Brynn was giving va-va-voom. That's like her. That is what I see when I see her. All va-va-voom, very big. So I mean, now look at you. It's spilling off, which is very cool.
Check off Reese Beach, check off Fire Island, and check off the Hamptons, and go ahead and find you someone that can pay your bills, because this inflation is through the roof and nobody's getting a raise. Let me.
Oh my goodness. Oh my.
And as we're cackling, right into the cackling hands.
We are going to have to think about this. Anyways, back to the lecture at hand in terms of this cast and this group and just where we're all at. So I was telling you that unfortunately Russell's not with us today in terms of recording this episode. The man is living. He's out here in these streets. In fact, he was in New York recently, and we hit up, what bar did we go to? We hit up the new bar. I think it's called the Dickens, on the rooftop. And I believe you have a group, a gaggle, and everyone ends up everywhere. But I believe they were at and then they went to this one and that one or whatever. So it was just fun because I got to hang out with them. And we just had another great New York City night, as Russell and I always get to do when he comes and travels into New York, which is really, really great. We always mention stuff like that on the episode, but
I'm giving you a little cover up because, we got to stay classy, but I do have on some very, very flowy pants today. Yes. Okay. They can flow in the wind, change your life.
Listen. Probably start dating first, but yes.
Wait, I thought you recently went on like a couple dates, no?
I mean, legs may have been in the air, but that don't mean it's a date, Russell. Come on, please. As the great Danielle Staub said, keep up. No, I'm kidding. I am, of course, joking. Let me tell you one thing. I was at Reese Beach the other day, and yeah, the girls are girling out there. For sure. I can't believe I said it that cheesy. The girls are girling. Okay, I need to be dismissed.
This is I was almost gonna say this was a different network that you and I have. Anyways, this is a Real Housewives of New York recap exclusive. Mm-hmm. Tell us more about this beach randomly.
No, I mean, it was just a beach, and it was like, a lot of it was topless as well, and it was a lot of speedos, and it was a lot of big old things. If you like big old things, you might see a big old thing. Yeah, a lot of drinks.
I didn't realize we had topless beaches in New York.
Yeah. I mean, this one I went to. I had never actually been to Reese Beach. I always wanted to go. Okay. And Reese Beach is, a little bit of a commute. It was a little bit of a trek. And Fire Island is still on my to-do list, but I had to go to Reese Beach. I wanted to go to it. It's in Queens. Yeah. Is it in Queens? Well, wherever it is, once you walk by, you won't miss it, is what I'm saying. Now they got the other side, the regular side, but this was a scene. So yeah.
So how far is this from the Hamptons? Is it a great distance from the Hamptons?
It's a great distance. Yes, it's in a whole different. Yeah. This is not.
You know me. I'm very much a city boy. So when I'm in New York, I'm always in the city. I'm always in downtown. I'm never on the coastline. Or if I'm on the coastline, I'm in Boston.
Okay.
So I'm just curious so the viewers know what they're getting themselves into. But if you haven't stopped by Reese Beach. Look, I'm wearing a practically see-through baby.
She's ready for a close-up. She's ready for a close. Oh, you better.
High waist.
Not that I'm in the gym 7 days a week.
Yeah.
He would do a spin. He would do. Oops.
I mean, when we went to the Dickens in
Mhm.
New York City,
The where?
the Dickens.
Oh yes, yes. You
Um,
know what's so funny? I found out that bar is literally because I was like surprised it was on 8th Avenue.
uh-huh.
I was like, oh, and I looked it up, and it was the old Latitude. Latitude was like a very cheesy, straight person's little hangout or whatever. I mean, it was nice or whatever, 3 stories and everything like that. But it's just really crazy because now Latitudes has turned into the Dickens, and what happens in the Dickens is different than what happened in Latitudes, and even the name Latitudes, how corny, right? Yeah.
Look, here's the thing that people don't realize, and if you haven't realized it yet, the gays are taking over.
Who do you think, Brynn? It doesn't have to be a Bravo celebrity, just somebody that we know. Who do you think Brynn would be really good to date?
Oh my gosh, Maluma.
Wow, that came up so quickly. And reason
Yeah.
being because of just the vibrancy that they both have?
Yes.
Okay.
The confidence that he exudes and the comfortability of who he is as an individual and the way that he projects his sexuality, including not being ashamed to have a feminine side.
Yeah, he's out there.
And
He's like, let's go. Well, you know,
Brynn is the same
the
way.
man's got a piece. I mean, he's the tripod of it all. It's just like, if you're rolling like that where you can't even walk down the street without, starting to like, you're on the right side of the street, but because that big old piece is just, pushing you to the left side of the street, you're just going to be like, I'm going to do what I want to do. I like that.
The mouth-watering Maluma Instagram, go look it up. Oof, 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 oof. Okay. In Brooklyn, can I tell you that I specifically thought of Sai the other day? Like literally, like I was walking with one of my friends, and it's Grant's Rants. He's done his own podcast for like 7 years. He's on a little bit of a hiatus right now, but he works in the podcast space professionally, and with all the big companies. But we were walking the other day. We were on our way to Fort Greene because we wanted to go to the Soul Summit. Oh my gosh, can I tell you? First of all, how fun it was. Second of all, the eye candy. Ooh, 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 ooh. It was hot. It was hot as a summer's day in August. But anyways, the Soul Summit was so fun. And so as we were either walking there or walking back, I can't remember. And that's to say we didn't even drink, but it was still that good of a time, Actually, if we would have drank, it would have been really difficult because I had radio the next morning. I get up at 4 a.m. if I do radio. Like I said, I do it on a part-time level, but we're walking and we're talking a little bit about the show, Housewives or whatever. And I was like, oh my gosh. I tell my friend Grant, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like the moment like Sai kind of spoke about. It's like, you're walking by these beautiful, we're coming from like Clinton Hill, Brooklyn to Fort Greene. So it's a wonderful walk, wonderful weather. What an amazing Sunday. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like what Sai talks about. You walking, and because I think we were actually literally saying out loud, like, oh, I want to live. That's a beautiful brownstone. I want to live there one day. And that is what Sai had mentioned earlier in the season. It's like, that whole thing of like, you could only dream and imagine. And right now, my career, at this particular space is very paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, freelance job to freelance job to freelance job. It won't always be, as I told you, I'm going to be one of the great talk show hosts of my time, but it made me very connected to Sai's experience. Oh no, this one.
Hold on, I've worked very hard for what.
Look at that dookie.
Here. Okay, thank you.
Not a live demonstration.
And it is possible. If I can do it, you can do it too.